morning, fisher people. I'm Nosh from FishOn TV. It is Tuesday, the 4th of May. I had to think then, it's my birthday this month. Crikey, can't believe it. 54 in a few weeks. Right, Tuesday the 4th of May, that means one thing. It is the Old Boys Fishing Club's match day. And today you will be joining us at Lodge Farm Fisheries at Scrooby Top. We are on the Lily Pond. I've just been talking to Bill. As usual, it's been fishing very hard. He's just been telling me, he said if you're on the carp, he says you'll catch one or two carp. It's worth targeting bream. Now I spoke to a couple of lads yesterday and they've said just carp, so I'm not really rigged up. I have got some worms, I have got a few old maggots, and I've got some old casters. They're not the best. I'll have to have a look. They are a few weeks old, so, and to be honest with you, I did forget about them one of the days, so they're not in as good a condition as what I could have probably kept them if I'd remembered I'd left them in my van. So, but we'll see. If they're not floating, we can still use. I'll give them a clean and we'll still use them. In fact, I left them in raft at feeder masters. I forgot all about them. So sounds like it's going to be a tough day. At the minute, it's blowing an absolute hoolie. It is 6 degrees and it feels a lot lower than that. Hence, I've got my gear on already. I'm just going to get all the numbers out. Bill's just nicely pegged it out for me. Sounds like it could be a tough day. Pretty much what's happening all over, but what I will say is there's been no bright sunshine, so hopefully there won't be the fish mulling about on top. There might be feeding off the bottom, so we'll see where I get drawn and decide how I'm going to fish. With this wind, I certainly won't be fishing long on the pole. Not a chance. Not risking breaking the pole in this wind. We're going to say weather and wind. In this weather. So my next job is get all the names, get all the money off everybody, and I'll let you know where I'm drawn. They will be queuing up. I'll just sit here and give them the peg numbers, and that's how we do the draw. So can't wait until we can socialise a bit more, because I do think the draw's a bit of a decent crack, bit of a laugh. But you can only do your best in these circumstances, so we shall see where I get drawn and see you on the bank in a jiffy. Right folks, just on the draw. I have an hour or so to get ready. I've got to go pay Bill. It is, I have drawn peg 54. One of the lads says he thinks we've got the wind off us back, which is brilliant because it is blowing absolute hoolie. I do feel sorry for those that have got the wind in the face, but hey, it ain't my fault, it's the weather. Right, see you on the bank. Right, here I am on peg 54, and when I show you the lake, you're going to think, oh, it's not that windy, but trust me, it's blowing an absolute hoolie. Luckily I've got the wind behind. I've got Tony Glue at the side of me. Say hello, Tony.
Hello everybody.
That's Tone. And then we've got Sean a bit further down. Got Brian Foddy there, look, to my left. Where's Mr. Incredible? Is that him? I think he's over there, Mr. Incredible. We've got Sean over there. He's going to do well today. I've heard there's a lot of bream in here, and I think, well, we've seen him catch loads of bream before. I think bream won the match last time. And then we've got old my old mate Jeff at the side of him. No sods today. So plan. I've plumbed up. It's on a nice steady sloping shelf out here. I've gone top 3 and 2. Nice depth around about 6.5 foot, I would say. I've gone for quite a heavier float, for a 4x16s, which is like 0.6 of a gun. With this wind, it looked like there were a bit of tow, so I've gone for a heavier float. I've set a pellet waggler up for out near the aerator around this area. Jeff thinks he can cast to it, but he can't because it's past the middle of the lake. So if you see him doing it, ladies and gents, when you see him, you can tell him off. So I'm thinking now all along there, all along the, all along the middle here, they call this pond the Lily because it gets full of lilies. Let me just check the time for the boys. 1 minute to go. So that's why they call it lilies, and it goes all across the middle of the lake to the lilies. I've seen 1 or 2 fish topping near the aerator, so I've got a little pellet waggler set up for there, and a bomb and a method feeder. Method feed I can change. Let me check the time, just 2 secs. No. So the method feed I can put maggots on, small worm, I can put anything on for bream and stuff and just have ground bait around it if I want to target bream. I've got to have a look for carp to start with. Just 2 secs, folks. No, we're not tired yet. I have to keep checking the time. And then I've got a margin down to the next platform down there. That's pretty much it. Not going to overcomplicate things. I'm just going to shout time. Time! Right, there you go. So we're all in. I'm going to have a look short to start with. I will fire 1 or 2 pellets now. From what I've been witnessing of late, the fishing's rock hard. It's no different here apparently. They're not wanting a lot of bait. They're not responding to a lot of bait. So it's a delicate approach to start with. See what other people are doing. Like I've just noticed Simon there, I know he's going straight out with some balls of ground bait, not big balls of ground bait, he's been cautious as well. And he will definitely be targeting, I'm guessing he'll have chopped worm caster and ground bait. And I would say, yeah, no, that's quite, no, he's put quite a decent pot in there. So we'll see how the bream respond to that. Now, if you remember when I was at Woodlands, when I was putting micros in and not just 6mm pellets, I did start getting skimmers. So I may fear, I'm going to start just tapping a few 6mm in to start with, just to see if this area's holding carp. If not, I'll start tapping a few micros in and see if any bream turn up on that line there. Down the margins, we'll have pellet corn down there. That's for later on. Again, margins have not really been producing so far at this time of year. And Jeff's casting towards my aerator. He says, what can you do, eh? These old ones, you've got to look after them. Right, so let's get in. Let's see if we get into a few fish. Oh, one other thing. Don't think I'm going to bother trying shallot unless, apart from the waggler, because it is very, very windy, unless I actually do think it looks like the shallot, but I'm very much doubting today. So, updates very soon. Right folks, we're about an hour and 20 minutes in. Went on the short line and I was getting 1 or 2 indications. They seemed like small fish, and I had a skimmer about £1.5, and then I hooked into a mighty fish. It took me all over the lake and the hook pulled out after about 5 minutes for no reason. Not a lot I could do. Decent sized fish, but I've been noticing while I've been fishing there've been 1 or 2 fish showing their faces, so I thought I'd have a go on the pellet waggler, which I did have 1 or 2 indications, but not proper takes. I've been firing maybe 3 or 4 pellets. Even while I was on the pole I was firing pellets over there, because I'd seen the fish topping. Ooh, he won't stay still. And I gave that a good half an hour, because once I'd had a couple of indications, I really did think, I really did think I was going to get one, but it just never materialised. I topped the short line up with a few pellets, but I thought, well, seeing as I've put some pellets over there, I will give it a go on the method. And that resulted in a skimmer, and then I've just had this carp. So I'm up to about 5 or 6 pounds. But Kev the pace man, he loves it here. Absolutely loves it here. He's always asking when we're coming here. He's probably winning the match. He's catching quite a few fishes, Kev. I think Tony's had 1. Bry outside him, he had a couple of carp right from the off on the method. Jeff's just had a couple, but he's getting him in his margins. Jeff, I've not seen Simon Hudson catch too much. Barry's had 1 or 2, so there's 1 or 2 fish coming out. I wouldn't say it's prolific. But there's one or two fish coming out. All different kinds of methods. Some are in the margins, some are just in front, some are on the method feeder. So it looks like the fish are, I wouldn't say having a chew properly, but at least there are some fish feeding. Bill did tell us it is fishing hard, which is the norm everywhere we go at the minute. But that's a good sign, because it was only in a minute and a half. I was just setting my camera up to talk to you guys and it went straight round. So we'll just get back out there. And it's about 6 foot deep. Even out there, I've got a 2-second count with a 1 ounce bomb, so it's around about 6 foot-ish, 6.5 foot, and it's the same 6 or 7 foot. It goes a bit deeper into the middle. I'm guessing it maybe just shallows up a little bit out there with the bin lilies. I'm not 100% certain, but it's sort of 6 to 7 foot, I would have said. Get the timer on. So once I'd lost that carp, I had nothing down there on the short line. Again, it must have disturbed the swim, because it were all over the place. So I'm resting that. I've not been on it for the last half an hour or so, and I'm going to give this a go now. There's one or two. Now I've had 2 casts, 2 fish. I've got to keep persevering out there and have a look and just see if any more fish turn up, because there are a few pellets on the bottom there out there. So hopefully that might have brought a few fish in, and see if we can get a few more. But I have got a feeling at some point I will get something. I've topped the short line up. I'm sure I'll get something down there, because Kev seems to be fishing at a very similar sort of distance. He might be a section further out, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell from here. Looks like he's fishing probably the same as me, top 2 and 3. But I'm guessing he's fishing hemp and paste. He does really well with that. So I would say he's winning it, but I know Bob's had 1 or 2, but I don't think anybody's running away with it. By the sounds of it, it sounds like 70 pounds is a winning weight at the minute on this lake. But he said I can't promise that, but you know, we'll just see what happens today. That's your update. Let's see if we can hook into a couple more. But it is blush. It's been blowing everywhere, and with being trees behind us, it's swirling all over. So when you're trying to fire pellets out, 1 minute they go left, 1 minute they go right, next minute they're short. It's just blowing wherever it wants. So it is difficult to get the accuracy when you're firing pellets out there. Right, that's your update. I'm confident we'll get a few more fish. I've not just put my foot in it. Right, update shortly. Right, I've had a look at my short line and put banded caster on. I've had a couple of skimmers. There's not really a great deal happening short. I've just gone back out on the bomb with an 8mm pellet. Doing the usual, firing a 4 or 5 twice and then casting right into it. Pretty close to the aerator. And it was in for 3 minutes. Yeah, just went round nicely. But Kev, the pace man's had a monster. He just loves it here. It's his favourite venue. He's even got Kev the paceman on his van now. Catch you, just sort of camera. Not a big fish, but it's about 3.5 pound-ish. There we go. Another carp in the net. So, and the only reason I changed that, I just noticed somebody caught on bomb, so I thought, right, I've got some pellets out there, and I did keep casting 1 or 2 out there. Why not? Let's give it another go. So we'll just try that again. They just went exactly where they wanted. Exactly tight. So yeah, I just went short. Well, I'm still going to cast into those even though they've come short. See, that's just blown over to the right. This is the problem. It's just swirling everywhere. One minute it's blowing in your face, and next minute it's behind you, then it's left to right. It's just swirling everywhere. So to get things accurate, it's just blown massive. But don't be worried. You know, you don't be worried about what people think. Get it where you want it. That's my motto. A bit further there, pull it in. I cast quite a bit beyond there, but I've reeled it back. That should be somewhere there, thereabouts. I'm not too concerned that it's not smack over where the pellets are, because I have been casting and like I said, they've been blowing left and they've blown right, and some's come short, some's gone long. It's been really difficult to get it accurate. So we'll stick that £3 on. I'm not exactly smashing it today. So I've got £12. We're about 2.5 hours in. Put the timer on. There we go, and I've just thrown some pellets short by hand, just to make a bit of noise. I'll have another look on that a little bit later on. And I don't think there's a great deal happening. I know Kev the Paceman's in again. He's doing really well, is Kev, out there. So yeah, I think he has fished this venue quite a lot. He knows it inside out. This is the first time I've fished this pond. Scotty. Oh, it was Scotty that were on bomb. That's unusual for Scotty. I thought he'd have been catching bream, because he loves bream fishing. Absolutely loves it. Those trains are going to have to go by fast. So we'll give that another go. If I've not had anything after 5 minutes, I will put another 2 lots of pellets out there. Try and get them as accurate as I can. Let's say it's proving difficult today. I am tempted to set a shallow rig up, because I do keep seeing 1 or 2 fish, but it's just so windy. I mean, even with the short line, nearly blew the pole out of my hand. There were no signs of any wind, and then it nearly blew straight out of my hand. It's just a crazy day. Right, that's your update for you. In fact, I was struggling to catch really most of the day, but I noticed Simon over at the side of him mentioning shallow. He's had about 5 or 6 fish shallow. So I thought, right, shallow rig it is. I went and put a shallow rig on. I've been doing it about 10 minutes. And I've just hooked into one. Again, just being aware of what's going on. I wasn't right sure whether it'd be shallow today or not. So I just thought, well, there's nothing else happening. I've nothing to lose. I fed it for 10 minutes. 13 metres, round about that sort of distance. Well, I've got 13 metre pole out. And then after 5 or 10 minutes of slapping it over, I've hooked into one. Again, I think it's one of the things I've taken on board most of all. It's being aware of what's going off around you, how people are catching. You know, I wasn't 100% certain I'd catch shallow at all today, but obviously I'm not saying I'm going to catch a load shallow, but I made the change, and 10 minutes in I've looked into a fish. It's not a bad fish neither. It's about 5 or 6 pounder. So if you see something that somebody's doing different, make a change. You know, the things I'd got planned, yeah, I've had a couple of fish, but not a lot happening. So I've made a change, and it might be the only one, but it's an extra £6 in the net. So that takes me to 18. Nowhere near Kev. Kev's going for his second net, so he must be close to £50. And it's 6mm pellets. I'm fishing at about 2.5 foot deep. Different to mugging rig. And about the same sort of lash, about 2.5 foot lash. So we'll get out there, give it another go. It is difficult with this wind. And it does put a bend on the pole, so get out there. And I had a couple of indications earlier. Give it a slap before we fire any pellets in, just in case. You know, it could have just been a rogue cart coming past, but once I saw Simon catch, say, 3 or 4 on trot, I thought I've got to get my shallow rig out. And that's all we're doing, we're just slapping it over. 4-inch hook length, bulk shot just above the 4-inch hook length, float, bulk shot pellet, it's like 3 pellets slapping on. That's the, and you can see the 3 different rings that it makes. That's the effect that we want it to make. That's the noise we want it to make, and hopefully it might go under. You know, it doesn't go under all the time unless they're really having it. I mean, when they're really having it, this is a great way to catch fish. Plus it gives me some practice for the bigger matches shallow fishing, which is, I've noticed that all the top boys, that's how they catch prolifically, especially like the likes of Andy Power and Bennett and people like that. Andy May, he's always going on about shallow, but it is a great way to catch fish. A little indication there. I'm guessing that might have been like a bream, or because he has been catching 1 or 2 skimmers on the shallow as well as Simon. You can see what I'm doing there. Hoping I might get one while you're on, but it did take about 10 minutes or so. Oh, wind blowing me pole. It did take about 10 minutes to get my first fish. But when a carp takes it, real positive bite. Just a quick tip for you people. I know you've probably heard people saying, oh, you want a really short lash when you're shallow fishing. Yeah, you do with F1s. I think when I was at Woodhouse Grange, very short lash indeed. But you need it with the F1s. But with the carp, they tend to spook a little bit more, you know. So, longer lash. My pole's away from where the bait's landed. And hopefully it won't put them off. But that's what I'm doing. We'll keep it up and see if we can get a few. Well, that was pretty much it for the shallow line. Had a couple of little takes which I missed. So what I've done, I've gone onto the method feeder, or Duro Banjo feeder. Changed the hook length, put a couple of dead reds on. That was in there 2 minutes, and I've just had a bream. Basically it's just a little underarm chuck to me, about 13 metres. A couple of dead reds. Nice little positive pull round. So I've just heard Sean say that he's got about £30. He's 2 pegs to me right. I know Graham Scott's had a few on the bomb. Simon keeps getting odd 1 or 2 shallow. I'm guessing he's fishing caster because I keep seeing some silverfish coming out. So I'm guessing that he's fishing caster shallow. Like I say, I mean, I didn't really. These casters I've got are a bit naff really. I left them overnight in my van, forgot all about them, and they're still sinkers, but they're just not great. I did put a caster on, I had couple of what you'd call roach bites, but you need a shorter lash to be hooking into those. Pretty much like F1 fishing, but you really are holding onto your pole in this. Well, I certainly am over here. I mean, I don't know how Simon's coping over there. He's not fishing at 13 metres, or he's probably fishing about 10 metres, I reckon. It's hard to tell from here. But yeah, I feel like I keep having to make changes. I'll get a fish from somewhere and then nothing, and that seems to be what's happening. Keep having to make changes. I have persevered with the method feeder up near the aerator. Oh, that's another one. But it just dries up. I don't think this is a bream, is it? And I did notice I keep finding the 8mm pellets, but when I went back out there, I was getting a lot of liners. So that's one of the reasons I've actually gone over where I've been fishing shallow. And it was almost instant. I made the change pretty quick. I was looking for little telltale signs, so I just thought it's worth a look down there. Some bait at the bottom, so it tells me they're actually wanting a little bit more bait than they have been doing. I've got a mixture of pellets and ground bait. And I'm not saying it's doing the trick, but wanting to go is this one. Just trying to find ways to keep fish coming, because I'm not competing in the match just yet. I think I need a few of these to get up there. People have been trying in the margins quite early and they're saying they're not getting anything. I'll be trying that in the last hour. Ooh, I thought I was going to get him. They just turned last minute. Decent sized common. A bit slow there really, I should have had him. And I know this landing net pole sounds really loud on the video, but it hardly makes any noise for me. And I know this jacket makes a bit of noise, but I can't even hear my jacket. Shows how good the microphone is. Come on, fish. Yeah, it's a good size, biggest fish at day, this one. The more pressure you put on, the more he pulls. I'll be gentle there and see if we can get his head up. As soon as you try and get his head up, away he goes. Yes, they're certainly in fighting spirits. Is that a good sign for them switching on? But some mighty battles up, mighty. Good grief. They're certainly waking up. He's not wanting to come to the top at all. This time, yes, he's had enough. I think I would have done without pressure I was putting on him. Whoa. So he's got to be about £8. That's nicely done. Bottom lip where it should be. Beautiful. Look at that. Nice to get a decent one in there, because I was running out of ideas, to be honest with you, a little bit. It was getting frustrating, but just keep making the changes and just hope some fish come along. Let's get back in. Right folks, there's an hour and a half to go. I've just fed my margin. I've had nothing else on that line. Again, 2 fish and it just dried up. Been back out where the pellets are, nothing there. I've not seen Kev the Paceman get too many fish. Sean's still getting 1 or 2, but I've not been able to see him. John Whitehead, he's 2 pegs from, 1 peg from the end peg, pretty much in open water, and apparently he's been catching all day just on the method feeder. I've just heard Graham say he's still bagging, so, and I know he'll probably be just fishing a method feeder, and he's been catching in the same spot pretty much all day. So I don't know, I've just seen his landing net go. I don't know what size fish they are because I can't really see him, but Brian's just been home and said that he is catching, so it sounds like Simon's going to be somewhere near. Sean's got that back bite. No, Simon's going to be somewhere near, probably a liner. I've just gone to the left of the aerator. Kev the Paceman and John Whitehead, I think that's going to be close. I could do with maybe a couple of nice fish like the last one to put me somewhere near. I think I'm still lagging quite a bit behind. So that's just a little update. I don't know. Oh, Mick Smith apparently has been catching. I think he's in the corner. I've not really seen him catch anything. Mr. Incredible. I've not seen him catching too much. He looks a bit fed up. We'll just go back out there again. You're probably thinking, well, why are you going there? There's no feed whatsoever there. I've fed in this area here at 13 metres. I've fed short line earlier on, but every time I've had a look on that, I've had nothing. And I've fed to the right of the aerator, so I am just having a look where there's no feed. And that, you know, that won't affect anything on my swim, but you just never know. You might just be able to nick a fish or two, because I am struggling. I've been struggling all day to try and locate fish and keep them coming. Catch a couple and then that's it. It's been a very strange day indeed for me. 1 or 2 others have been fairly consistent. But that's how this peg's performed, whether I've not been patient enough on the same area, but I think I have. I don't like sort of leaving it more than 20 minutes, 25 minutes if nothing's happening. I tend to think there's got to be a change on the cards somewhere, and then when I've made a change I've nicked a fish and then it's gone quiet again. It's been a funny one. Don't know how they're going to react to the bait. I've put like a handful of corn, half an handful of 6mm pellets and a mixture of ground bait and micros. Put that down about 10 minutes ago. I'm going to give it half an hour or so. It's certainly not piling it in season, and I don't particularly like to do that anyway, as you know. So give it another sort of 20-25 minutes, I'll have a quick look. If there's nothing there, I'll just tip in a little bit of bait, but not a lot. Probably what's in a cab pot, and go have another look, say 15 minutes after that, to see if something's settled. And what they tend to do in margins, when I've watched them, they tend to come in and go back out and then come back again for another nosy to see if there's anything else turned up. That seems to be what happens when I've just watched fish come in. For example, like when they're down at the side of me, when I flick bait off, they've come in and just taken a few mere morsels. They've had a grub around, disappear, put no bait down, and then about 20 minutes later, oh, there we go, managed to nick one. And then they come back again for another nosy. And I think that's what carp do. I don't want it to go near that aerator, so I'm giving it a bit of jip. So that was worth having a quick look to the left hand side. So, you know, are they wanting bait, are they not wanting bait? It's queer, very queer indeed. But it was certainly worth a quick look to the left there, because it's not going to harm my swim as such. Let's see if we can get this one in. Again, double dead red, mixture of ground bait and pellets, Juro banjo feeder. And that was in, well, I think you saw it, not very long at all, about 3.5 minutes. I know you want to see the bite because of this, but I've had to keep protecting my bait because it's been on and off raining. Not the biggest, but a nice little contribution, probably about 4 poundish. The maggots are still on, so we'll get him in there. That takes me to about £30. I think to be anywhere in the money, I think, from what I can see, I'm going to probably need 50 plus, I think. Could be wrong, could be talking a lot of rubbish. I like to talk rubbish. Right, there's your update. Now we're just about to pour a cup of coffee. 2.5 minutes later, after I said ta-da, it's gone round again. Nicked one from the spot where there's no feed, left hand side of the aerator. Oh no, I didn't think it were a big fish. It came in quite easy until now. And it's raining again. Been on and off all day. Soz has not turned up. Fair weather man he is. Wait till I see him. Yeah, another one about four pound or so. Stay still, Mr. Fish. Oh yeah, 4.5 pound. Another fish in the net. Right. You can see that one. Well folks, there's just short of an hour to go. I've not looked at my margin yet because I just keep changing spots. Catch one from one spot and then just move a few yards to the left, and I've had a few more fish. I've not filmed them all. It's pretty much same old. But I'm up to 45, 46 pounds now. So when I said 50 pounds plus to frame, I'm not a million miles off it. I still think
I need a few more fish to really compete. I've had a quick look. I've kept feeding pellets at 13 metres. I've had a quick look there, nothing. And the fish have been coming from areas where I've put no feed. Basically, it's been, when I've gone to the left, it's been a little bit like winter fishing, you know, just keep moving spots a little bit. And I actually found that when I was practicing at Allcroft. I was fishing to the right of the platform, then I go to the left of the platform, then I go back to the right, and that's what I was doing pretty much all day. But obviously, as you know, I couldn't do that, and I did move a few spots to the left towards the spinner that day, but it made no difference. I just don't think there was a lot of action there at all that day, but it seems to be working there a little bit, so I keep going out long to my right at aerator, short here, and then just keep moving along. I've had a couple of goes on the pole short, but no real indications, so it has felt like I have been chasing the fish a little bit. That's what it's felt like today. It's been a funny old day. But we've got a few pound in the bag. Let's hope a few turn up down there, and let's see if I can just get a couple more off this. That'd be nice. Well, there we go. Update over. I had a quick look at my margin and I had a bite. Well, the float went under. I'm guessing it was a liner. When I lifted into it, it was just solid. It was caught on the bottom. So I've just refed it with a little bit, not a lot, because that would have spooked him. Gone back out and I've gone towards the aerator again. I've moved right again. And it was in 1 minute 20 seconds and it's gone round. Cracking bite. It's only a baby carp. Yeah, well, better than nothing. I've still not hit the 50 pounds yet. That's probably £1.5, £2. But we're edging towards the 50. Well, I've had another look at my margin. And it's gone under within about 20 seconds. Whistling. Speaking with a whistle. Well, there's an accident on A1 on his way home. Right, let's see if we can get this in. Really could do with this one. Right, and folks, I did get it in, and it took a bit of getting in. It was under its chin, and it's about £10. There we go. Well, that's helped me cause. I'm definitely over £50 now, but don't think I've got as much as Simon. He's started catching shallot again on caster. I heard him say he'd got £57. Well, I've got about £57, but he's had a few fish since, so we've got to go back down the margin and have another look. Bang the camera. Right, about 15 minutes left. It did take some getting in, that. Over and out. See you in a bit.
Well, fisher people, we're all wading. I got a bit of a sweat on, emptying all those fish. Crikey. Right, what a... I know it looked calm, it will definitely look calm, let me get this right, it will definitely look calm on the video, but trust me, that was unbelievably windy. You couldn't, I ended up stopping feeding pellets in the end. One reason, couldn't seem to catch them anywhere the pellets were. The other reason, I couldn't keep them accurate enough. I mean, they all said you had wind behind. Yes, we did. It was a bit more sheltered than the other side. Well, a lot more sheltered than the other side, but it was swirling. Your pellets would just go, sometimes they go 5 yards left, 5 yards right, miles too long or miles too short. And I just thought, even with 8 mils, I just couldn't. Don't get me wrong, I had periods where they dropped in lovely, but I don't like it being spread over such a wide space. So I ended up stopping doing that. I just fed a few pellets on the 13-metre line. That was a bit easier. Right, my match didn't start very well at all. I did lose a big lump at the beginning. I'd had it on for quite a few minutes, and for some reason, no reason, I don't know, whether it just started, I'd not hooked it properly. Pulled out quite a big fish, that one. Never saw it. It never came within sort of 15-20 metres. So started off short. I had 1 or 2 bites, not a lot. I got the feeling the bites I were missing were sort of either hide, roach, skimmers, things like that. I did have one, and I did eventually get a carp. But then I went out on the method feeder with a wafter, and I did get a carp. I think I had a carp, maybe even another. I can't remember exactly. But what I did notice, to cut a long story short, it was sort of catch 1, maybe 2, and then you won't have a bite. So I ended up edging towards the aerator, then going to the left hand side of the aerator, and I ended up about halfway into my peg to the left of the aerator. So I couldn't be accused of going in front of Jeff, even though the aerator is my side. I could have actually gone a bit further than the aerator if I wanted. And I kept picking fish up where there was no feed whatsoever. And it wasn't a bad plan, that, because then I'd move back to right and I'd get 1 or 2 again. I had 1 or 2 short, underarm in a method feed. I think you saw that one. But it was a tricky day, and it's been tricky for everybody. The paste, man, set off like an absolute steam train. It just seemed to be one after another. I thought you were going to end up with £150. And I think I've mentioned that as well. Yes, John had quite a few down at the bottom end. John Whitehead, he did well. But it's been a close match in the end. Now, I lost, I think you saw the one I got from the margin, about £10-ish. And I went back in the margin, there was nothing, so I just dropped the little bit of bait that I had. I thought I'll give that a few minutes. There's about 10 minutes to go, 8 to 10 minutes to the end. I went back out, just before I went back out on the, and it's a lesson to be learned, this. And I've done it loads of times, and I always tell myself, make sure you change it. And sometimes you just think, because it won't end at match, I wanted to be in, have a few minutes, back out, not really thinking I'd probably get one. I just thought I'll give that a couple of minutes before I try the margin again. And I've looked at my hook length, and it just looked a little bit kinky, just didn't quite seem as supple and as healthy as what it was when I put it on. So I've cast out with double dead red, which was, by the way, maggot and a few maggot mixed in with compressed into the Duro Banjo feeder with ground bait and a few micros, was the way forward for me today. I've caught most of my fish on that. So I've cast out, and within 1 minute the tip's gone round and I've hooked into one almighty fish. So I'm letting it run. It didn't even pull that hard, and the bloody hook length snapped. What a lesson to learn again and again and again. And over the years, I don't know, I've done it a few times, and I'm sure everybody has. I'm sure everybody has. My own fault. And I said to myself, I thought, that's either cost me a place or it's cost me something. Well, it's bound to do, isn't it? With a decent fish. Back into the margin, float went under, last few minutes, and I had a little F1, which I don't think I videoed. So let's get on to the results. In 4th place, Sean the Sheep, Sean Williamson, nearly forgot that bit. On peg 51, had a lovely mixed bag of skimmers, roach and a few carp for £44. So well done, Sean. What a mighty fisherman you are. Well done, son. In third place, end peg. He's fished maggot and ground bait. Couldn't get too much on pellet or anything like that anywhere else. It was maggot and ground bait for him. Mixed bag of carp, skimmers, roach, eye, perch. And he's coming with a tremendous £54. So well done, Jack. What a mighty fisherman you are. Well done, son. Bear in mind, the weights, the best weights have been around about the 70 poundish mark in the open matches, guys that are here regular. So, you know, these weights aren't too bad because it's still not fishing. Everywhere's the same. It's still fishing tough. It's almost like winter mode. In second place, with £57.14. Damn it. I wanted to break 50. I thought it might put me in the money. £57.14. Yours truly. So what a mighty fisherman I am. Well done me. And in first place, with £57.58. So it's measured in 100ths. That's probably 6-7 ounces. It's measured in 100ths, folks. So that's why the strange decimal points at the end of the weights. That's how the scales pull it up. Kev the paste man, 57.58. I knew he were worried because when he saw me land that big one, he couldn't stop looking over. I knew he were worried. Oh, damn it. But I'm sure we all lose them. I'm sure Kev probably lost one or two. So I've lost two today. Kev's probably lost something, so you can't blame it just on that. But one of them was definitely on fault. But it's been a tremendous day considering the conditions. It's been sunshine, rain, very windy, and a very tough day indeed. It's nothing to do with the fishery, guys. This fishery, I think it's fantastic. It's a lovely fishery, well organised, lots of lakes, and there are lots of fish in here. £200-300 is possible, I am sure of it. Oh, by the way, I did get one shallow. I think you saw that. I just can't wait for them to start feeding properly. Hopefully we'll see some better weights and some really close matches with some big weights. So I hope you've enjoyed the insights to our day's match fishing. Oh, Kev, what you are this week's old boys mightiest fisherman. Well done, son. I forgot that bit, didn't I? The insights to Lodge Farm fisheries on Lily Pond. Middle of the lake. He did tell me they built. That's a decent enough area. I'm pretty sure those end pegs look tremendous, and I'm sure on its day those end pegs will just smash this lake to pieces. But there are lilies all across the middle. It's a great venue, and I'll look forward to coming back again. So don't forget, folks, if you enjoy my videos, it's absolutely free to subscribe. If you click the subscribe button, that would be very, very nice. If you click the notification bell, you will get all our videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up would be very, very nice too. So until next time, we are fishing at where are we next week? We are fishing at Woodhouse Grange, and we are on the Heron Pond. That's Jeff's favourite. Jeff's coming with £34, I think. So first time he's been after the money for a while. So unlucky Jeff, I've smashed you this week. Right, that's me done. Until next time, we'll see you on the bank at Woodhouse Range on the Heron Pond. Thanks for watching, and see you very, very soon.